There are no eggs needed to make these decadently delicious desserts. This collection of eggless dessert recipes are also all dairy-free without sacrificing texture or flavor. Whether you're vegan like me, or if you have an allergy, or if you're avoiding eggs because they cost approximately $1 million a piece right now, I got you. Baking without eggs can be tricky, so stay tuned to the end where I'll share some egg substitute ideas to help you out too. If you like this video, let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. First up, we have these fluffy blackberry scones. Let's make some blackberry scones! These vegan blackberry scones have a crisp outside and a fluffy inside, and they are absolutely loaded with blackberries. They're simple to make with no special ingredients, and they are just absolutely delicious. If you like this recipe, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. The first thing you want to do is mix non-dairy milk with a little bit of apple cider vinegar. This is going to curdle, which is what you want. You're basically making vegan buttermilk. Then you're going to add your other wet ingredients to that mixture. That's your vanilla extract and your lime zest. The lime zest is optional, but I love that little extra burst of flavor that it gives these scones. Now add all of your dry ingredients to a large bowl and mix them until they're just combined. The next thing you're gonna do is cut your butter into the bowl. Don't panic. Cutting the butter literally is what it says it is. You're gonna cut the butter into pieces and drop those pieces all over the flour mixture. This butter doesn't want to open. I'm just gonna use the side of my fork to boop. For the fluffiest scones, cold butter is ideal. So don't pull the butter out of the fridge until you've got the wet and dry ingredients all mixed and ready to go. Okay, now don't freak out, but the next part uses my hands. You're gonna get in there and you're gonna knead this all together until this starts to look almost like beach sand. It'll clump a little bit if you press it, but it'll actually feel pretty dry to the touch. It's kind of fun, like a preschool sensory experiment. Once you achieve that sandy texture, add your blackberries and your wet ingredients to that dry mixture. Then mix it up really well. What you want to end up with is a cohesive ball of somewhat sticky dough. Cohesive just means that it stays together. And if it feels like it's not coming together, you can get in there with clean hands again and just knead it together, which is what I'm gonna do. Remember, I just washed my hands. Soap is a miracle. And now we're just gonna pop this in the freezer to chill because scones love to be cold before they bake. Okay, so here's our chilled dough. And I'm gonna transfer that to my lined baking sheet and then use my hands to press it out into a disc. You also wanna use your hands to kind of clean up the edges because they are not gonna clean up on their own while they're baking. Now use a pastry cutter, a knife, or a pizza cutter to slice your dough into 8 triangles. You want to try to get them about the same size, but as you can see, mine are all different sizes, and it's going to be fine. Space those triangles out because the dough is going to puff up a little bit during the baking process. And you can see that what looked like not that many blackberries is actually plenty of blackberries. You don't want too many blackberries in your scones, because if they bunch up together, like a little bit over here that's happening, it can make them a little more fragile because the dough is what's holding it together, right? Blackberries are not binding. Now this is optional, but you can brush the tops with a little non-dairy milk and then sprinkle on a little sugar. That'll give it like kind of a crunchy top. Now you're ready to bake. Pop your scones into the oven at 425 for 15 to 18 minutes. They're ready when they're kind of crispy and brown around the edges. And if you brushed milk on top, they're gonna be a little bit browned on top too. Once they're baked, let them cool, and then it's scones o'clock. So here's our baked and cooled blackberry scones. Don't they look so delicious? I love having these around for quick breakfasts or a quick snack, and even for dessert. And they have this incredible like fluffy texture inside and they're crispy on the outside. And these ones have a nice little crust on top. And that's from the soy milk and sugar. If you don't put the milk and sugar on top, they're gonna be a little bit less browned on the top. If you're a chocolate lover, you have got to try these chocolate peanut butter cupcakes. These chocolate peanut butter cupcakes are like a peanut butter cup, but in cupcake form. While the cupcakes bake, you have plenty of time to whip up the light, fluffy peanut butter frosting. You can frost these like usual, but I love filling the cupcakes with a little bit of extra frosting for that peanut butter cup experience. If you like this recipe, leave a comment, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. First, make the batter. Combine flour with cocoa powder, baking soda, and salt. Mix that together. Then combine white and brown sugar with oil, vanilla extract, vegan milk, and flax meal mixed with water. This is your egg replacer. Mix the wet ingredients really well, then add them to the dry ingredients with a little bit of hot water. That hot water is going to help the cocoa powder incorporate into the mixture. Once everything is well combined, spoon the batter into lined muffin tins and bake. While the cupcakes bake and cool, make your frosting. Whip vegan butter until it's light and fluffy, then add powdered sugar, a little salt, a lot of peanut butter, and some vegan milk and vanilla extract. Whip that up until it's light and fluffy, and then transfer it to a piping bag. If you don't have a piping bag, that's fine. Just put it into a plastic baggie and then trim off one corner, and you've got an instant piping bag. Once your cupcakes have baked and cooled completely, it's time to frost. If you want to fill them, use a sharp knife to cut holes in the middle of each cupcake. Then fill those with frosting and cap them with the piece that you cut off. Finish piping your frosting onto the cupcakes and then decorate with sprinkles or your favorite chocolate peanut candy. I'm using peanut butter cups that I cut in half and some chocolate covered peanuts. Aren't they pretty? Cooking! Looking for cookies? These oatmeal chocolate chip cookies are absolutely incredible. Who wants oatmeal chocolate chip cookies? So I made this recipe because when I shared my oatmeal raisin cookie recipe a ways back, my friend Leo told me that he hates raisins. So Leo, these cookies are for you. And they are amazing. They're crispy on the outside, soft and tender on the inside, and full of rich, decadent chocolate chips and hearty oats. I am honestly obsessed. And they are so easy to make. If you like these cookies, leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Start by mixing your dry ingredients in a large bowl. That's your oats, flour, baking soda, and salt. You want to mix those until they're really well combined. Then in a separate bowl, combine melted vegan butter with white sugar and brown sugar and cream those together really well. Add your egg replacer and vanilla extract and mix again until they're really well combined. Add those wet ingredients to your bowl of dry ingredients, and then mix them together until you have a thick, sticky dough. Add your vegan chocolate chips and mix again. Use an ice cream scoop to scoop up generous spoonfuls of the dough onto your cookie sheet. And then use your fingers to shape them because these cookies will spread a little bit, but they will not round out as they bake. Bake until they're a little bit browned on the edges. Let them cool and enjoy. These cookies are so delicious. They've just got that perfect oatmeal cookie texture, and then with the creamy chocolate chips involved, they are just so rich and decadent. You are gonna absolutely love them. And last but not least, you've got to try these mini vegan cheesecakes. Because everything is cuter in miniature, that's just science. These vegan mini cheesecakes are rich and creamy and taste totally decadent, but they're actually sneakily kind of healthy. The crust is made from dates and almonds, And the cheesecake is made from cashews sweetened with maple syrup. There is no baking needed to make them. You can use raw or roasted cashews to make this cheesecake. We're gonna soak the cashews in hot water, so that'll soften them and it'll even get rid of excess salt, so you can even use salted cashews to make this cheesecake. Let's do it! First, make your crust by combining almonds and dates in your food processor. Oops, I forgot the water. Process until you have a sticky, crumbly mixture that holds together when you press it. Scoop the mixture into a lined muffin pan and then press it down really firmly. Your crust is ready. Now let's make that creamy cheesecake filling. In your blender, combine soaked cashews with vegan milk, maple syrup, lemon juice, vanilla extract, and a little bit of salt. Blend that up until you have a smooth, creamy, thick mixture, and spoon it into your muffin tins over the crusts. Before adding the toppings, I like to lift up the muffin pan and smack it on the counter a few times just to get rid of any air bubbles. Now add your favorite toppings. I'm making mine half with raspberries and half with melted chocolate. But you can use anything you like. Swirl in your favorite jam, or serve these straight up. What toppings will you use on your mini cheesecakes? Once you're done topping, chill your cheesecakes for an hour or two until they're nice and firm. Then you're ready to devour them. Just look at that rich, creamy texture. If you try any of these egg-free desserts, let me know in the comments which one was your favorite. Are you looking to convert your favorite dessert recipe into an eggless version? Eggs perform a few functions in recipes. They work as a binder, holding your baked goods together. They also add moisture, and they can help leaven, meaning they help things rise and get nice and fluffy and airy. But because they do multiple things, that can make replacing the eggs a little tricky because you have to know why they're in the recipe. You might end up with something that doesn't rise as well, or a cake that just falls apart. In general, as long as your recipe only uses 1 to 2 eggs, you can use these egg replacers to replace them. If you're doing a recipe that calls for 3 eggs or more, you're better off looking for an eggless version than trying to convert the recipe that you're using. My absolute favorite egg replacer is a flax egg. Flax meal is cheap, it keeps forever, and you can whip up a flax egg in seconds. To make 1 flax egg, mix a tablespoon of flax meal with 3 tablespoons of water, or if your recipe calls for a large egg, use a 1/4 cup of water. In some recipes where the egg isn't doing any leavening, you can use a 1/4 cup of applesauce or a 1/4 cup of canned pumpkin in place of the egg. If you have a can of chickpeas or white beans handy, you can also use the liquid from those cans as an egg replacer. 3 tablespoons equals 1 egg, 4 tablespoons or a 1/4 cup equals 1 large egg. Bean liquid also freezes really well. I like to keep it frozen in an ice cube tray because 1 ice cube is 2 tablespoons. So if I need an egg, that's just 2 ice cubes. Remember, when you're doing these substitutions, you only want to be replacing up to 2 eggs. If the recipe calls for 3 or more, look for a different recipe instead. I hope that this video answered all of your questions about how to make these easy vegan desserts and about how to substitute eggs in baking. If you have any questions I didn't address, feel free to drop a comment. I am always happy to help. And don't forget to rate and subscribe. Happy cooking!